think back to the last time you got a raise. Maybe it was last year. Maybe it was 6 months ago. Do you remember that feeling, that brief moment of relief? Finally, more money. Things are going to be easier now. You're going to be able to save, pay down debt, build that emergency fund you keep meaning to start. Now answer honestly, did any of that actually happen? Or did life just quietly become more expensive? Did the extra money just disappear into the same financial pressure you had before, just with different numbers? If you're nodding right now, you're not alone, and you're not failing. You're experiencing something that happens to almost everyone, at every income level, in every city, across every profession. Getting a raise doesn't fix money problems. It just moves them to a higher bracket. Today, I want to show you exactly why this happens. Not to discourage you, not to say raises don't matter, but to help you see the mechanism so clearly that you'll stop expecting your next raise to change your life. Because once you understand what's actually happening, you can make different choices. Let me tell you about Taylor. She's 28. She lives in Portland, Oregon. She works as a project manager at a marketing agency. 2 years ago, she was making $56,000. Last year, after proving herself and switching companies, she got bumped to $68,000. That's a $12,000 raise, a 21% increase. Taylor was thrilled. She worked hard for it. She negotiated well. She earned it. Here's what her life looked like at $56,000. After taxes, she was bringing home about $3,500 a month. Her rent was $1,200 for a studio apartment. Car payment was $295. Insurance was $130. Student loans were $250. Groceries ran about $320, utilities were $95, phone bill was $80, health insurance through work cost her $145 monthly, gym membership was $40. Her committed expenses totaled about $2,555. She had roughly $945 left for gas, going out, saving, unexpected costs. Some months she'd save $200. Some months she'd save nothing, but she was getting by. Then came the raise to $68,000. Her take-home jumped to about $4,250 a month. That's $750 more. Taylor remembers thinking, this changes everything. But let's look at what actually happened. Her studio felt cramped now that she was working from home more. She found a one-bedroom in a nicer building. Rent went to $1,550. She deserved it, right? She was making more now. Her old car started having issues. She decided to upgrade to something more reliable. New payment, $425. Insurance went up to $160 with the newer car. She started buying nicer groceries, organic, better quality, about $420 now. She felt like she could afford to eat better. She upgraded her gym to one with better equipment and classes, $75 now. She got engaged, so she's putting $150 a month into a wedding fund. Her new committed expenses, $3,030, plus the wedding fund, $3,180. She has $1,070 left over. Wait, before the raise, she had $945. After a $12,000 annual raise, she has $125 more per month in discretionary income. She's making $750 more each month. Her actual financial flexibility increased by $125. So where did Taylor's raise actually go? This is where most people get confused. They think they're making conscious spending choices, and technically they are, but those choices are being made inside a system that's designed to expand your spending to match your income. Let me show you how this works. When Taylor was making $56,000, her lifestyle matched that income. Not because she planned it that way, because that's what she could afford. Her apartment was what $1,200 got her in Portland. Her car was what she could finance on that salary. Her social life was calibrated to that budget. But the moment her income increased, the world around her adjusted. Her apartment complex offered her a one-bedroom upgrade perfectly timed with her raise. Not a conspiracy, just market timing. People who get raises are prime candidates for upgrades. Car dealerships approved her for better financing, her credit improved with her income history, she qualified for a nicer car. The salesperson made it easy, only $130 more for something way more reliable. Even her grocery shopping changed, not because she planned to spend $100 more, but because when you have more money, you stop scrutinizing every purchase. The organic strawberries go in the cart, the nice cheese, the pre-cut vegetables that save time. Each individual decision makes sense. Cumulatively, your grocery bill goes up 30%. This is called Parkinson's law applied to money. Expenses expand to meet available income. Here's the math of how it happened to Taylor. Her rent increased by $350. That's 47% of her raise. Her car payment increased by $130. That's 17% of her raise. Groceries increased by $100, that's 10%. Gym increased by $35, that's 5%. Wedding fund is $150, that's 20%. Those 5 categories alone consumed 102% of her monthly raise. Every other small lifestyle upgrade, better takeout, nicer clothes, more frequent happy hours, consumed the rest. And none of it felt extravagant in the moment, it all felt justified. She's making more, so she should live a little better. So why does Taylor, and why does almost everyone, fall into this pattern? The answer is that our brains are wired to evaluate lifestyle relative to our resources. When your resources increase, your baseline for normal shifts immediately. There's a psychological phenomenon called the hedonic treadmill. Basically, we adapt to new circumstances very quickly and return to a baseline level of happiness. That raise makes you happy for a few weeks. Then it becomes your new normal, and the lifestyle improvements you made to celebrate it become your new baseline expectations. Taylor's one-bedroom doesn't feel like an upgrade 6 months later, it feels normal. The nicer car doesn't feel special, it's just her car. The organic groceries aren't a luxury, they're what she buys now. So she's not experiencing ongoing joy from the raise, she's just maintaining a slightly more expensive version of the same lifestyle. And psychologically, she's back where she started. There's also social comparison at play. When you get a raise, you start comparing yourself to people at that income level. Taylor's coworkers at her new job make similar money. They live in one-bedrooms. They drive decent cars. She's just keeping up with her peer group. But here's the trap. Every income level has its own costs, its own baseline, its own pressures. So as your income rises, you're not escaping financial pressure. You're just moving to a different version of it. And nobody tells you this. Everyone celebrates your raise, your family is proud, your friends congratulate you. But nobody says, be careful, your expenses are about to expand to consume this entirely. Here's what makes this particularly insidious. Taylor feels like she's progressing. She has a better apartment, a better car, better food. These are tangible improvements to her quality of life. That's real. But financially, she hasn't progressed at all. She still has no emergency fund. She's still not investing beyond the minimum 401k match. She's still one unexpected expense away from credit card debt. Her lifestyle improved, her financial security didn't. And this is the core illusion. We confuse lifestyle advancement with financial advancement. They're not the same thing. Let me show you what actual financial progress would look like. If Taylor had kept her lifestyle exactly the same when she got her raise, same apartment, same car, same groceries, she'd have an extra $750 a month. Over 2 years, that's $18,000. If she'd invested it at a conservative 7% return, she'd have about $19,500 now. That $19,500 is financial security. That's an emergency fund that means she can handle a job loss or a medical crisis. That's investment capital that compounds into real wealth. That's optionality. Instead, she has a nicer apartment that she doesn't own and a newer car that's depreciating. 2 years from now, if she gets another raise, the same thing will happen again. Her lifestyle will expand, her financial position will remain fragile. And 10 years from now, she might be making $95,000, living in an even nicer place, driving an even nicer car, and still living paycheck to paycheck, just at a higher dollar amount. So what do people who actually build wealth do when they get a raise? They treat it as a one-time opportunity to reset their savings rate, not an invitation to upgrade their life. Here's what that looks like practically. When someone gets a $750 monthly raise, they immediately automate $600 of it into investments. It goes straight from paycheck to brokerage or retirement account. They never see it, they never adjust their lifestyle to it. They allow themselves to keep $150 for a small quality of life improvement. Maybe they eat out one more time a month. Maybe they upgrade one thing that actually matters to them, but the bulk of the raise becomes invisible. This way, their lifestyle improves slightly, which feels good and is sustainable, but their financial trajectory changes dramatically. Over 10 years, investing $600 a month from a single raise creates about $105,000 in wealth. That's life-changing money. That's a down payment on a house. That's the ability to take a career risk. That's real financial security. And the person doing this doesn't feel deprived. They're still living better than before the raise, just not as much better as they could be living if they'd spent it all. The financially intelligent understand that raises are rare moments where you can lock in a higher savings rate without feeling it, because you never had that money in your lifestyle to begin with. But most people let the lifestyle expand first, and once it expands, it's almost impossible to contract it again without feeling like you're going backward. Here's the uncomfortable reality. Raises don't fix money problems, because money problems are rarely about the amount of money. If you're living paycheck to paycheck on $50,000, you'll live paycheck to paycheck on $80,000, unless you fundamentally change your relationship with income. Because the problem isn't insufficient income, the problem is spending that expands to match income, no matter what the income is. You can see this at every level. People making $200,000 feel financially stressed. People making $500,000 feel like they can't save enough. The numbers change, the percentage of income going to lifestyle versus wealth building stays roughly the same. Raises give you a choice. You can convert them into lifestyle, which feels good immediately but doesn't change your financial trajectory, or you can convert them into savings, which feels like nothing immediately but compounds into freedom later. Most people choose lifestyle because it's visible, immediate, and socially reinforced. Fewer people choose savings because it's invisible, delayed, and socially unrewarded. But the people who choose savings are the ones who eventually stop needing raises to feel secure. Getting a raise doesn't fix your money problems. It just gives you more money to have the same problems with. Unless you actively prevent your lifestyle from expanding, your expenses will rise to consume every dollar of that raise. Not because you're reckless, because that's how human psychology and modern consumer markets work. The next time you get a raise, you'll have a decision to make. You can let it disappear into a slightly nicer version of the life you already have, or you can capture it, protect it, and turn it into actual wealth. Neither choice is wrong, but only one of them changes your financial trajectory. If this changed how you think about your next raise, consider subscribing. I break down these patterns every day. Clearly, calmly, no judgment. Just the mechanisms most people feel, but never see clearly enough to change. Thanks for watching.